It's now time for my lightning round, my deep cuts.
Okay.
Okay. If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
Cook.
Of course. What was the album that changed your life?
Probably Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, amazing. Was there a movie that changed your life?
Well, a movie that changed my life? No.
Or a go-to that you love?
Yeah, go-to, I mean, I love Scorsese.
Yeah.
He is my, Goodfellas. I've seen the most amount of times of any movie, I think. My favorite movie, my go-to movie would be Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, amazing.
Just because Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, Jonathan Demme.
That's a perfect film.
It's a really crazy film.
What was your first concert?
First concert, my sister's boyfriend band called the Nobodies at a sort of a miscellaneous pub in Kentish Town in London.
Do you remember how you felt that day?
Exhilarated. I used to carry his bass. He used to sort of help. I didn't help really at all. I used to go to these dank, stinky, cold rehearsal rooms and thought they're the most exciting places I'd ever been. So I would help load gear in and help them a bit. I don't think I really helped very much. But
you were hanging out.
Yeah, I was hanging out and like
supporting.
I was just like the kid brother. And what was cool is my sister was a very, very cool punk. So there's a lot of English punks. And I just was like the, like always in that punk world, you'd have like the young kid with like the egg white in his hair, so it's all spiky and just all the safety pins and just hanging out with my sister and all of her friends. And it was like, so that was my first gig.
Do you think it was maybe that moment when you realized that's what you wanted to do?
Well, the fact that I wasn't turned off by these terrible rehearsal rooms gave me an inkling that I sort of liked. Sometimes when I have people come visit, especially with playing the beginning, the clubs sort of get quite hardcore, you know what I mean? Like at one toilet for like everyone, including the crowd, and you have like terrible dressing rooms and your shit. It like separates, either you have the guts to just go through that and embrace that and have a laugh with it, or you're just like, oh my God, how can I live like this? And I was like, I loved it. It just sort of appealed to my, I don't know, just appealed to me. And sometimes when you have friends come visit, I sort of feel bad for them because I know that it's a bit rough for them, a bit rough living. I remember friends of mine coming to see me on the bus when I was like, you got these European, these buses in Europe especially, where there's tiny you sleep in a little like coffin.
Right.
And just people come in seeing it, just who kind of lived a nicer life than that, kind of going, oh, how it's really hardcore. It's like a kitchen, like the food comes out amazing, but when you go in the kitchen, it's pretty hardcore.
Right.
It's just, it's just a different thing, behind the scenes. It's
of course.
Not quite as, it's not the finished thing.
That's what's rock and roll.
Yeah.
What is a song you wish you wrote?
Oh my God, Bad.
Oh, you too? Yeah, that song. Wow.
Chills. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Any of them, really.
Streets Have No Name. I can go on forever. One is probably the best song ever.
Did you see Eddie Vedder do one at the Kennedy Center Honors? Oh my God, he crushed it. That's hard to do,
Yeah, he changed the phrasing too much for me personally, but
right.
Cool. I mean, no one's going to sing it like Bono.
Right, of course.
I mean, I obviously Eddie's great and I respect him a lot, but.
Well, actually, Mary J. Blige was supposed to sing it, but she had fallen ill, so he did it last minute.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, what I liked about it was impressive as he sang it as he should, like Eddie Vedder.
Right.
So he has a whole different phrasing approach. He's much more fills it.
Yeah.
Whereas Bono has a bit more, has different phrasing.
So
that's what it was. I'm just so, obviously,
in love with the
obviously I have
form.
a deep respect for Eddie Vedder, but I do love it when Bono sings that song.
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta say, he's really, really good. It's just, and I've been fortunate enough to be around him quite a bit, and just my favorite thing with him is, in fact, he fucked me up because one time he's in my studio, and I had these speakers, and I think they were sort of ATC. They were 50 watts, pretty loud for a small studio. He played me the U2 record of the time. And he sang.
Oh my God.
To me, the whole record, right? It was funny. But then I played him some stuff of mine, and he's really helped with. I've done it for a long time where I would send him records and get critiques on songs right?
Wow.
Just sort of to get some help from him. What do you think? And didn't do it in the last couple of records, actually. I was scared it got a bit heavy for him. But I played him the Bush record, What We're Doing. And he was talking to me over it. And I was like...
Like while you're playing him?
Yeah, and I was thinking, I need to get some speakers so I can't hear. You can't be able to talk over the fucking music. So I got the 150s. It cost me, I spent another 10 grand or something, 14 grand on these speakers.
Yeah.
So that no one could speak to me ever again if I'm playing a song. Can't hear anyone. It's like after, yeah.
Let's wait a second. Oh my God, so, Bono.
Yeah.
What is something people would be surprised to learn about you?
How much part of the process of writing is to have crippling self-doubt and imposter syndrome. It's really hard to avoid. When it's not going right, you're like, oh my God. No, I don't really have imposter syndrome like I'm a fraud. Just sometimes I go, that's not very good.
Right.
What am I going to do? It's not very good. And it's not good until it's good. When you're in a studio and someone's playing something and they're not delivering, you go, we have this phrase in the studio we go, could he, I don't know, just do something good.
I love that.
Do something
good.
I don't know about that. Not feeling like do something good.
Kind of takes the pressure out.
And it's just that thing. And so, I part of the process for me. I have my best friend Alex in London. He laughs at me because, before I wrote the song, these last few days when I was writing some songs, at the start, and I was all paranoid on the phone to him. I was like, I don't know, it's not coming right, and I can't get it. He goes, he goes, it's exhausting. Your process is exhausting. Let's talk in a couple of days. And so then I send him a song. Like, hey, yeah. He goes, okay, can we just ever avoid that first stage of the self-doubt? So I think that people assume that people with success have this sort of, this is in a way to sort of help people who also have that sense of self-doubt when they're working, is that it's a natural part of creativity. Right. And without that self-doubt, you're not policing yourself. If you think you're great at all the time, then when's the point for reflection or for change? I mean, if you just think you're so great, everything I touch, everything I do is amazing. It's like, is it?
Right.
Whereas if you have, maybe not as crippling as it can get, but if you have a degree of self-doubt, a degree of like second guessing yourself, a devil's advocate on yourself, you might end up with something better. Not to the point where you wash the life out of it and suddenly you end up with nothing, but more to the point where you just push yourself. And so I think that would be it, because people might think, oh, he's smug because he's got a hit record. He was number one. He probably thinks he's all that. It's like, it's not how it works.
No, you need to be a little uncomfortable for the art to come.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you hope your sons learn from you?
Just to really to have empathy and sort of to see people's think of people's what it's like for them. We can get so wrapped up in being self-centered and see everything through our glasses. It's like everyone has a different perspective on things because there's someone else's way of seeing it. So I think that I tell them, just be polite and be funny, and life is going to open up for you. Life's going to open up, and that's what I think it is. So I mean, my main thing for them, they used to say to me over the years when I started having kids, have you started to write songs for your kids yet? I'd be like, oh my God, terrible idea. No, I haven't written songs about them or anything like that. I said, the only thing that difference kids make in your life, and I have it with all four of my kids, is I want to not impress them, but I want them to like what I do. How awful if they like, my dad's in the band. I don't know this record. Don't listen to that one. I want.
Do they like your music?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's driving and it's just it's powerful. And now Kingston, my eldest boy, he's been recording and he's been writing and doing some amazing songs. And he's
that's
really,
amazing.
He's very, very good. And
wow.
So
does he ask for your insight, or is he doing it?
He plays stuff for me all the time. He just played a new song the other day. I'm just blown away by him. And his voice is getting really good. He works with other professional songwriters. So he comes back with real songs. It's not like him and his mates. He's done him and his mates, and that gave a certain thing. His band was called, oh my God, it was the best band name ever, Sex Ed. I was like,
really?
That's the greatest band name ever. And now the band's not really happening. So, but
he's continuing. He's writing. He's recording.
They would rehearse in my garage. They'd rehearse in my garage, and then they'd all be. I'd cook for all of them. They'd all come for dinner. We sit outside in the big table outside, and I'd sit and I'd sort of quiz them, And they were much more. They were sweet because they saw me as a guy in a band because they're all musicians, For King, I'm just his dad. I'm the caterer, the
Right.
caterer who cares about him, loves him a lot. So it was an interesting dynamic. And so they'd rehearse and then we'd sit and eat. It was great. It's so much fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You are the coolest dad and soon to be granddad, papa, ever. Gavin, thank you so much. You are the best.
Thanks for having me.
You're a Renaissance man and you are such a lovely human being.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.